Okay, before we get into the second half of the season, let's go over some stats from the first half of the season. I would put these in a graphic and then talk about them blindly during the race, but then we'll just do it here and you can take a look at the back end on how I keep the standings and everything. Here's the meat and potatoes of everything. These are the finishing, these are the points they get per race. And it's alphabetical. it's organized alphabetically now, because what I do is I have a points base right here. That is our point system, and I will make a copy of it, copy of points base, and put the results in to here. We'll do A to Z, and you can see I added 2 points, extra bonus points to Guy Fieri here, and then I'll alphabetize them, copy them here, and then you just copy them here after it's alphabetized, and then you can organize A to Z, Z to A, and it gives us the points, and then I just copy those, throw them and paste them into here, and then I have the equations that calculates the deficits from the top driver. Here's the laps led. You see Mick Dundee leading everybody with 215 laps led this season. Led 135 at North Wilkesboro, 70 at Nazareth. And that's all he's needed, really. Just he took over a couple of the short tracks. That was all she wrote. We're in 11th there with 53. And old Jack Burton down there with only 2 laps led. Neil Armstrong. Lily. How about Lily? We'll talk about Lily here, because where's she at? She's 4th in the points, and she's only led 4 laps. It is what it is. I mentioned Steve Jobs I put up a graphic about Steve Jobs at New Hampshire. He's only led 6 laps down here. All 6 were at Daytona, and then he hasn't led anything since. Top 10s, we'll get an error here. We're gonna organize this. I have them. I have it adding up down here to make sure I keep track of all of them. But we'll get an error. Yeah, we will. But yeah, Lily has 7 top 10s, leading everybody. We're there with 6, looking good. And Tim Taylor is the only driver with 1 top 10. Top 5s. That's us, Stay Puffed, and Guy Fieri all with 4. Everyone else has 3. Or a bunch of people. A bunch of people have 3. And then you get down to the bottom here. How about Steve Jobs, only 1 top 5 when he was quote-unquote dominant early in the season. And then you see Andy Van Slyke, Mr. Rogers, Velen Dinkley, and Tim Taylor are the 4 drivers to not get a top 5 yet this year. DNFs. Michael Scott, not surprising that he has 5 leading the pack. But you see, we're up there with 3. Pretty wild. And then, we got 8 or 9 drivers without a DNF so far this season, so we'll try to keep an eye on that. And the average finish should line up with the points pretty much. Some bonus points here and there, maybe change things a little bit, because we're 10th right now in the points. Or no, we're 8th. But we got some bonus points for winning a race, which kind of jumps us over top of these guys, and got a couple. I think we've gotten 1 or 2 bonus points on the halfway mark. Bonus points we do, and you see Tim Taylor, not a surprise, having the worst average finishes. But I mean, it's pretty easy what I do here. This is the race results right here from, what was this? This was New Hampshire. And then just like I do everything else, alphabetize everything, and then I'll copy the starting position, or the, what was I doing? The finishing position, and then throw them in here, and that gives us our finishing positions for every race, and then I have a column here that's averaging out all those numbers. And I mean, that's pretty much it. The last thing to talk about is Rosa Parks down here. I was looking at these numbers earlier. Out of these 15 races and all these numbers, there's only been 22 instances of a driver getting 2 consecutive top 10s. For example, Andy Van Slyke got 2 consecutive top 10s right away. Indiana Jones did. Prince did. And it's hard to even look. Here's Gus Fring. Gus Fring has 2 consecutive top 10. He has 2 instances of consecutive top 10s, because I count Atlanta and Rockingham as one, and then I count Rockingham and Vegas as one. So he has 2 there. So out of this whole spreadsheet, there's only 22 instances of consecutive top 10 finishes. Rosa Parks down here, she had 5 consecutive top 10 finishes. So she had 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 22 consecutive top 10 instances of top 10 finishes. She's had 4 of them. And then I also decided not, I went back and I decided not to count the restrictor plate tracks. So if you had consecutive top 10 finishes where a restrictor plate track was involved, I didn't count those, and that brought it down to 17. So Rosa Parks didn't have any of hers at a restrictor plate. They weren't involved with a restrictor plate track. So she has 4 out of basically 17 of the consecutive top 10 finishes. She has 4 of them. Pretty wild. You can see we've been kind of all over the map. We had consecutive top 10s at California and Phoenix, and that's been it. And it's just, it's rare. It's extremely rare to find those. But let's take a look at Tim Taylor, see if he has consecutive bottom 10 finishes. I mean, he had 3 in a row right here, and that's been it. So you would think, oh, he's bottom in the standings. He might have, a couple of consecutive bottom 10 finishes, but that's not the case. And actually looking at these real quick, I'm not really seeing that many consecutive bottom 10 finishes. They seem to be more rarer than consecutive top 10s. But poor Michael Scott here, he had 1, 2, 3 instances of consecutive bottom 10s. So he's that's probably there's probably 10 or 12 of them on this page, and he has 3 of them. But yeah, I could have put all this into a some kind of graphic or something during the race, but I just wanted to show you how the back end works and how I keep track of everything. And that's it. Let's get going with the second half of the season. And so we're here for the second half of the season. The Tootsie Roll 400 from Daytona. My name's Adam. Thanks for checking out the video. We have some things to talk about. I personally took a week off. It's not reflected in the upload schedule. We're just not skipping a week. But I've taken a week off, so I'm fresh. I was ahead of schedule. I'm fresh, talkative, ready to go. The rumors at New Hampshire were true. Pepsi did sign Michael Jackson to a 15-race deal to finish out our season, and we'll most likely get a look at his paint scheme here. He's on the high line, about 3 cars up. If we can latch on to Dutch Vanderlyn here, we might be in trouble already. He had a pretty bad start there. No problem, Dutch. We're just getting behind you, buddy. This is Dutch Vanderlyn from Red Dead Redemption. DB Cooper behind us, the hijacker. It's a pretty good time to jump into this season. If you're just a casual viewer, I know the super speedways get more views than any of the other tracks. So if you're just jumping in and wondering why Dutch Vanderlyn and DB Cooper are in the field, it's because we have 40 fictional drivers. I've been cycling through them on the grid. Also talked about them a bunch in that quick first half of the season recap. They're all equally matched. They all have elite driver ratings. There's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man here. Michael Jackson up top. We weren't able to see the paint scheme. But you can see it in the rear view. I'll undoubtedly highlight it sometime during this race. Maybe even showed him during the intro there. And because all the cars are evenly matched, we flip the grid every race. If you won last week, you're starting 40th here. If you finish second, you're starting 39th. And because of that, I see the next couple of races to be huge. There are 3 out of the next 4. It can really change how the points look, because these tracks, anything goes. I mean, you can start 40th and get up to first place pretty quick. And as I was talking about, it's very rare that you can get 2 consecutive top 10s. Like, it's just not, it's extremely rare. You can get them here, because we have this, and then we have Michigan next, which is going to be 3 wide racing. There's probably going to be a wreck if you can survive that. And then we go to a short track, which won't afford much of a big jump from the back of the pack. But then after that, we go to Indianapolis, which is a drafting track, and you can maybe gain some spots in the beginning. But of course, I think we're just going to eventually fall in line there. Then we'll have a Nashville Super Speedway. We'll have another Talladega. We have a road course. We have unlimited short tracks coming up. Hopefully I'm throwing up the schedule around this time, because we have I've finalized the schedule. I was talking about running Milwaukee, even trying to do the Taylor Swift Superdome, but I've settled on a modern version of Kansas, a 2020 version, I think. And you know, I was poo-pooing all of the cookie cutter tracks, but I mean, we have you can't run all of them in the same season. That's just brutal. But we'll have at least one of them a season. We had Las Vegas earlier, 4th race of the season, and then we'll do Kansas late in the year. I'll still throw up the points, even though we kind of looked at them there in the intro. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That's one of the stats I don't keep, is how many times he's been in the lead, how long he's been in the points lead. But he's been a fixture probably since race 3, maybe. He's just always been hanging out up there in the top 10. We're finally in the top 10 again. I think we were in the top 10, I don't know, going into Watkins Glen maybe, and then fell out. I'm not 100% sure. For people just jumping into the season, I'll try to call out some of these cars. But if you saw the starting grid, I show the cars in the starting grid to give you an idea, just as I have all season. Because all these, if you're just jumping in there, if you're just jumping in here, you're just like, what the heck? That's Guy Fieri, Velma Dinkley. See if she can finally get a top 5 this season. Martha Stewart here in front of us. Hannibal Lecter in front of her. We have a big run. She didn't have any get up there. I think we're under her. She better just, good job. Big run here. Let's make sure we get out and lead our lap, and let's survive this race. Like we DNFs don't hurt as much. It depends on what race it happens in. The DNFs in this flip the grid kind of format don't really hurt that much unless you start way up front. Because with that means you have 2 bad finishes in a row. 2 bottom 10s in a row. And I'd like to think if top 10s are that elusive, then bottom 10 should be, you know, just as elusive. I haven't crunched the numbers on those. And we just can't afford any DN. We just, again, I think we can. We just can't. We're getting down to the stretch here. I honestly don't think we can afford another DNF. Another bad finish after starting near the front. You know what I'm trying to say. I mean, we're just... Okay, we're 4 wide. We're 4 wide. No, we weren't. Tobias was just pinching me there, man. He was pushing me up the track. I thought someone else was peeking under him. So I backed out of there. Patience is key. Prince Akeem from Coming to America there in the 27. Amelia Earhart in the 3. Indiana Jones up there in the Rolling Rock car. Ray Finkel from Ace Ventura, Pet Detective in front of us. Happy Gilmore up there ahead of him. We've haven't really talked about him much in terms of the points. We've seen him a lot on the track, but he's second in the points, and he's been kind of hanging out in the top 10 for a while too. But again, this is the kind of, this little stretch of the season can really flip everything around. We have moderate damage on this race, just because I didn't like all the accidents, or all the slow cars at that Talladega race we ran. There's Michael Jackson. You know, all the slow cars getting beat up and slowing up the field, and the AI not knowing how to handle them. It hurts. Is Happy Gilmore coming down? Come on, then. Happy? We got our peen in a vice grip right now. Hell of a way to jump back into the season here. But we're fine. We're about halfway through this fuel run. We have to remember that we're pretty early on pit road since we started near the back. We had been at the front earlier. We did not lead a lap, as I recall. We're all right here. I thought some cars were pushing each other and there was going to be a wreck. I was shooting down at the bottom. But there's just nowhere to go. Yeah. Changing Michael Jackson's paint scheme was the right call because I saw that black car, which ended up being Steve Jobs. And for a second I thought it was Michael Jackson. And already the thought in my head was like, man, this paint scheme blows. So... I was obsessed with the idea of some kind of moon theme for him from the get-go, and it just didn't. I just kept trying to make it happen, and it didn't happen. Cameron Fry again, off the pace, or did he pit somewhere? Yeah, I think he just dipped down onto the apron. Michael Scott had 4 consecutive DNFs in the first half of the season somewhere. One of them was mechanical. 3 of them were just random AI deals. Did a header at Watkins Glen and then got involved in a couple of accidents. But Cameron Fry's giving him a run for his money now. But if we're trying to keep Michael Scott in the history books no matter what, he had 3 straight 40th place DNFs, 3 straight pole in our flip the grid format. We're just not going to see that again, I don't think. It's just, the odds are just stacked against that. Let's jump in and change the tires just so we're changing 2 right sides only. Yeah, oh yeah, I mentioned it at the end of New Hampshire. I had no freaking idea what they were doing, what they had changed on their final pit stops at New Hampshire. I was just purely guessing, and I guessed wrong, and I ended up guessing wrong what they had done. But it is what it is. So, Cameron Fry, hopefully he's not a slow car, he's just a fast car off of the pack, and it won't drastically mess up the AI when we catch him. There's Prince here in the purple car. Yeah, and starting next race, going into Michigan, we'll start doing quick race recaps to kick off the videos, talking about the previous week and discuss the point. Okay, here comes Cameron Fry. So he must have pitted. We're in trouble here. Hang on, just hang on. We're just going to slow down. Oh, he's trying to merge. Oh my God. Al Bundy. What's Al Bundy doing down here on this apron? I think he was spooked by Cameron Fryness. Yeah, okay. But Cameron Fry really separated the pack here, and we're in good shape. We're in the good half. DB Cooper's been on our bumper for a while. Yeah, we'll just pretend that that little tussle with Prince right there never happened. His car was like a brick, didn't even move. Thank goodness. I was talking about something before the Cameron Fry happened, and I forget. Yeah, we're about, I'd say 5-6 laps from pit stops now. And my plan is always, you know, you can see the AI make moves and you know they're pitting. And my plan is always just to stay out and wait till the next lap. Once we see the AI for sure make a move to pit, we're going in. Because it seems like the last couple times we've always ended up off of the front pack after pit stops. And that's the common thread, is we don't pit with the first group. So we're going to do that this race. Oh yeah, I'm going to, before the Cameron Fry thing, I'm pretty sure I was talking about how we're going to do race recaps before the races going forward, and also actually talk about the points while looking at them. Because it's getting real. It is getting real. And I don't see us getting into first place in the points after this, but you never know. That's obviously the goal, is to get into first place and win the Heinz packet. our trophy. When I said I took a week off, I mean I took a week off. Didn't have any graphics to do. I think the 1080 graphics are pretty much locked in now. All the broadcast graphics and stuff. All I did was kind of set up the commercials and the commercials I want to use for the rest of the year, and some copter cam ideas, things like this. But I did not sit down and vice my steering wheel to the desk and get behind the wheel at all. Alright, lap 23. We haven't paused or hit escape on the game, so that's still the same. And oh yeah, we only have 23 cars in this lead pack. I'm not gonna look and see who's where yet. The other pack got pushed back with the Cameron Fry incident. Mona Lisa Vito, she won a restrictor plate race this season at Talladega. She's behind us. Mick Dundee adding to his laps led total up there. Pretty sure we haven't led a lap yet. Rosa Parks is in that back group. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is in the front group. He's just, but then Happy Gilmore's in the back group. So Stay Puft has a, who knows? We may get a caution here, and it's all going to be moot anyway. But you never know. So, kind of, I mean, I've been pulling for Rosa Parks ever since she went on her charge, and Stay Puft is just, he's just the dominant fixture in the point standings. All right, we're on lap 25. Let's keep an eye on some AI movements here. Yep, we're pitting. It looks like Mick Dundee is going to pit. We're going to pit with him.
Outside. Clear outside. Limit 55. Keep it under 4,000 in seconds. The leader's pitting now.
These bastards just brake perfectly. We can't. I think that was Steve Jobs just flying in when we were just tiptoeing in. That's fine.
Go, go! Limit 55. Keep it under.
We're out of there.
4,000 in seconds. Watch that speed now. Keep it on 4,000.
All right, we'll be with Stay Puft. Mick Dundee's taking off up there. Steve Jobs, Mona Lisa Vito.
Okay, you're clear of pit lane.
I mean, Mick Dundee was,
Okay,
you know,
merge when you can.
obviously the leader. I usually sneak up onto the track around this time, but I'm just going to kind of stay on the apron with the AI. And hopefully get a push from old Steve Jobs behind us here. We should have no problem catching these guys. Just fall in line, Steve. Don't back off. Don't back off in 1 and 2, Steve. Sometimes they get spooked by the AI. He just stayed high. That's fine. So he didn't lose his speed. That's the main thing I was concerned about. So yeah, it looks like these are the, this is the lead pack. This is going to be the lead pack.
Still there.
You have nowhere to go, Steve. I tried to warn you.
Still there.
Thought he was like taking on the world, trying to get around us.
Clear inside. You're now in the top 20.
But we're okay. Let's just stay. Keep these cars with us. And push us to the front. Wow, there's going to be a bunch of cars up here. Maybe we didn't have the best pit stop. Well, I know we didn't. I mean, we really slammed on our brakes, but we're with the group that we came in with. So it's whatever. It's not like we're going to make any big pass right here and change the race. We're just going to be a pack of cars that eventually catches up to the leaders out in front right now. So there's no wild move we have to make right here. Tell you what, we lost Steve Jobs back there. Whatever they got into. But the old Stay Puft Marshmallow Man is up here. And Prince Akeem ended up hanging out with us. Hanging with us, I should say. And we just have a huge run. I don't want to be racing too much right now, but it's there for the taking, and you take it. Yeah, Rosa Parks, wow. 17 seconds off the pack. Again, this can all change and be meaningless with a caution that comes out, but if a caution comes out, we have random. We do not have random cautions on. I haven't been using them all season. Yeah, it seems like there's just going to be a pack of... I'm trying to get an idea here. Probably 14 cars in this front lead pack. And that's nice. We're not dealing with 40 cars. We can just kind of ride around now and not worry about things going wrong.
What makes people all over America break down and cry like this? Call 1-900-9099-CRY and hear it for yourself. $2 for the first minute, 45 cents each additional minute. If you're under 18, ask your parents before you call. 1-900-9099-CRY.
All right, the field's coming up on Cameron Fry. Handle him well. Get below him. Good. And I think that next group is going to catch us now. Or let's just stay in line with Prince and Stay Puft. I don't think us three on our own are going to be able to pull away from that group. The field has definitely caught up to us again. That was us, Stay Puffed, and Prince kind of running on our own, and then the train came. And after the field kind of got squeezed together again after Cameron Fry, I haven't even looked yet. We're going to be in a pretty much a 30 car pack right now. Rosa Parks and Michael Jackson are not in that pack. Michael Jackson, we were talking about him. He's in the top 10 in points. Happy Gilmore's back there too. Indiana Jones is a top 10 driver. He's back there too. Wow. They all need a caution. I'd say we're about 10 laps from pit stops here. Yeah, Cameron Fry, he's not off the pack. He's somewhere. I didn't see him, but he's in a group somewhere, and he's not slowing him up. So that's good. So we won't have to deal with this quote-unquote slow car the rest of the race. Decided to kick off the second half of the season with the InGen helicopter paint scheme, just because we ran the next one in the rotation was supposed to be the green and yellow tour car, but we ran that at Daytona once this season. Didn't want to run it twice at the same track, so we'll run that the next at Michigan, the next race. Some big pit stops coming up, and I'm starting to think about what the AI is going to do. There's going to be about 12 to go. Tires are whatever, probably just fuel. No, Cameron Fry is off the pack. I don't know what I was looking at earlier. You can see his green number. He's either a little slow, or no, he's a little slow. I was gonna say either that, or he's the same speed as everyone, but everyone just blows past him. But we saw that firsthand. That didn't happen. Everyone just kind of bunched up behind him. Yeah, no DNFs this race. No wrecks. Planning on doing a wreck. I've been saving all the replays. Planning to do a wreck compilation video at the end of the season as its own standalone thing. I'm not even sure how I want to tackle that. I don't want to do a montage with just like music playing. I don't want to do that. I don't know what I want to do with that yet. Stay Puffed in the lead. Steve Jobs was dominant in the early going of our season. Probably the first, I'd say, 11 races of the season. He was just always up there. Okay, pit stop. And it's with the Stay Puft. It's with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. We're adding a can. This kind of caught me off guard here.
In second, the leader's pitting now. We'll give you one.
Putting on a can of fuel. They're not taking tires. This was the right call.
Go, go,
I wish I knew they were pitting
Keep it
that.
under 55. Keep it under 4,000. In
What's
seconds.
happening here? Did they have to take on 1.5? Yeah, they did. I was thinking there was 10 to go. There's 15 to go.
Watch that speed now. Keep it on 4,000. In seconds.
The whole reason this works.
Okay, you're clear of
The whole reason this works is if we don't cheat on the fuel. So the only reason we're out in the quote-unquote lead right now
Okay, merge when you
is
can.
because we didn't. That just snuck up on me. My bad. But as long as we stay with Stay Puffed, we're fine. And he's with us. We're in good shape. They might wreck back there, though. I'm just gonna get out of that fray. Hop on, Stay Puffed. So that's what I mean by, or no, wait a minute. This is the, what was I thinking? This is the window. I was thinking lap 54 or something, but it was actually 25 and 50, or 24 and 48. This is pretty much on the nose. I don't know what I was thinking there. But we survived it anyway. It's no big deal.
The leader's pitting now.
I didn't even see who gave us the business going into pit road. I felt somebody push us at the last second, but I wasn't looking.
Inside.
So yeah, where you shake out here after pit stops is this is your race,
Stay high.
and these cars are just on a mission. We can't. I was thinking about dipping down in front of Spice Girls, but it's just not a smart move. Should have dipped in front of the Prince there, but I think we're okay. I think
You're now in the top 20. Clear
the next
inside.
couple cars here are going to slow these guys up, and we can catch up to them. As such. Jeez.
Car
Look out,
outside.
Prince. We've gotten into him a couple times.
Clear.
Guy Fieri is merging. Let's go high
Clear
here.
inside.
Go, Prince. Don't slow up, Prince.
Car inside.
Ah,
Keep high. Still there. Keep high. Stay high. Keep high.
I'm still comfortable with where we're at. If we can
Clear inside.
just stay with these guys, not lose them here at the back end of this pack. We can get back up to the front and try to get a win, dare I say. I'm going to look at the standings after we catch up to these guys because I'm just really centering myself with Prince's car right now. Oh, and he goes low like a weirdo. What is this move? What is he doing? And we've lost them. I mean, that was just, they just had a great run on us. And they started zigging and zagging there. And it really hurt us. What we need is what we see happening up there. Is there? Come on, Neil Armstrong, slow down. Is they're three wide up there, and that's what we want to see. That's slowing them down. We need Neil Armstrong to push us here and catch back up. We can fight. We can fight once we get up here. Let's just get up here first. Get back. Stay back there. feeling good. There's still 3 wide. Possible 4 wide. No. I was looking at the wrong thing there. We're not there yet. Let's not throw any parades yet. So, thank God for Neil Armstrong getting us back to the front here. Or getting us back to the lead pack here and having a chance to win this with under 10 to go. Barring a caution, we have 17 cars with a chance to win this thing, and we have a stray off the pace car, lone wolf up here. I was going to look at the top 10 standings. How many we're trying to keep our AI winning streak going. In the top 10 we have, well, never mind. We'll wait for those to change. Guy Fieri and Dutch Vanderlyn have wins. And DB Cooper and Ray Finkel. So out of the top 10 right now, 6 of them don't have wins. And then I can't really see. Dundee, I don't know. We have 6, 7, 8, 9. About half of the group of 16, 17 cars here in this lead pack. Half of them have wins already. So we're praying for the second half of these cars that don't have a win, for one of them to win. And we'll take a win too. That counts toward the AI. That doesn't count against the AI streak, I should say. We got a couple of wounded, not even wounded ducks, just off the pace mallards. This is going to be Rosa Parks. Yeah. Man, not a good start to her second half. I'm trying to think where she was at Dover. Yeah, toward the back, I think. So she started, oh boy. Yeah, so she started toward the front here. To the best of what I can remember. So she's going to have 2 straight bad finishes. That's going to hurt her. Like, it was just a miracle run for her with all those top 10s in a row. But it puts her in the conversation. It's not like her season's over with a couple of bad finishes here now. We've never won at Daytona. We've won at Talladega. But Daytona, the AI, I've led laps here. It's possible. The AI is just so strong on the high side. Then on this backstretch, DB Cooper's probably going to get a big push and just get past us. Yeah, that's Rosie the Riveter is a straggler back here as well. I don't think we've let, we'll see. We'll see what he says. I don't think we've let a lap yet.
Just 5 more to go. You're in first. Good job.
I can't remember. I can't remember what he says. So these cars that are essentially a lap down, they're going to look at that run from DB Cooper. Oh, no. Yeah, Rosie. Yeah, Rosie. Go up the track, DB. Fantastic. I don't think that's gonna have the field's gonna catch us again, and we're gonna be running pretty slow here. These are all, well, Rosa Parks and Rosie are a lap down, but all these cars have wins in the first half of the season there with us. Rosie at Rockingham, Rosa Parks the Charmin 600 at Charlotte, and DB Cooper won at Bristol. Okay, so Cameron Fry didn't DNF. I was talking about that earlier. Just having a rough one. Coming to 3 to go. That pack's going to catch us at the wrong. That happened at a bad time. That pack's going to catch us, and it's going to be a dogfight. But if we can kind of stay side by side with these cars, oh, they're coming right now. Then they really have nowhere to go. Neil Armstrong pushing DB Cooper now. It's not looking good. Our AI point streak, I don't see any potential first-time winners in my rear view. It's just all I see is Rosa Parks' big hood. 2 to go. What will Rosie the Riveter have to say about this race? She is lap traffic. And if we can keep her where she's at, I'm really side drafting DB Cooper here. Trying to mess him up somehow. But I think he's going to use Rosie the Riveter. He's going to use Rosie the Riveter here and draft past us and get down in front of us. But I don't know. Come on, Rosie. Give me something here. Rosa Parks, come on, push. Come on, Rosie. Trying to get into her stream here. I needed her to stay low, and I needed to not hit the apron there. Okay. Big push for them up top. I need to have him not cut in front of us here. Damn it. And then we won't have anything. We won't have anything for him. Coming off of 4. DB Cooper's going to get his second win of the year. Let's not be upset. Finishing second. All right, I think I'm more bummed out that our AI win streak is over more than I'm bummed out that we didn't get the win. But look at those numbers. Started 36, finished second. DB Cooper's up there too. Stay puffed. Marshmallow Man got the big jump this race as well. Guy Fieri, we'll keep an eye on him in the standings. It's just 2 straight excellent finishes can really change your whole season. We had 18 leaders, 38 lead changes, no cautions. Warhol, Vanderlyn, Gus Fring, the bonus points, and DB Cooper is getting all 50 here. He led the most laps by 1. And we've never had a tie before for most laps led. I would just give a bonus point to each of them if that's the case going forward. We led 2 laps. Good for us. Moving to the second page, nothing sticks out. Dutch Vanderlyn made a big jump. Randy Marsh did as well. Spice Girls did. We don't talk about the Spice Girls. They haven't been doing too hot this season. But yeah, overall this race was just kind of uneventful. Even when I was editing and trying to put together the final video, looking for race action, there was just nothing going on. There was no DNF. There weren't any DNFs. Meant to check to see what made Rosa Parks and them fall off. Probably something on pit road. Not a huge thing. But yeah, I was trying to find a reason to spice it up. Best thing I could come up with was Sydney Sweeney copter cam. Page 3, Michael Bolton, a big drop. No surprise. At this point, that isn't a surprise. Gus Fring just can't get it together. He's been having some weird drops recently. Michael Scott, he's just a piece of poop. And then Michael Jackson debuted the Pepsi scheme. I like it. I think it looks good on the track. Now, I think every paint scheme I don't have a problem with, so I'm happy about that. And then checking the back page of the standings, we got a storyline going into the next race. Cameron Fry, can he get another 40th place DNF and tie Michael Scott for 3 straight poles in our Flip the Grid season? We'll see. He can, well, actually no, because he didn't DNF here. But 3 poles in a row is 3 poles. We won't worry about DNFs. Rosa Parks, it's a huge hit. She went from, wow. She went from, what, 5 straight top 10s to 2 straight bottom 4s. And that's going to hurt her in the standings. All right, we're moving on. We're moving on to Michigan. And, oh man, we're starting at the back of the pack at Michigan. We have to survive wrecks. There's going to be a wreck early in that baby. We got to survive it. Yeah, that's it. Hey, again, it was just a kind of a dud of a race, but it's the dog days of summer. You gotta get the job done, and we got our big points, and then we're heading to Michigan. All right, thanks for watching.